Hey everybody, Logan here. Yes, so today you're like, why are you sitting so far from the camera? Because it has to do with my story. Has to do with my story. You clicked on the video because you want to hear the story. This is a story on how I got my PS5. I didn't go to a store to get it, but I didn't get it from a scalper. Woo! Talk about. Ooh, what an interesting story. Well, you know what we gotta do for it.
Welcome to Red Bandana Gaming, the channel where Logan will show you everything. From gameplay to gear, their crew is here to take you on a journey through every atmosphere. Releases to news, you don't have to choose. Red Bandana Gaming is here for you.
Ah, that never gets old. Alright, so I got that sucker. Yes. Oh, look. It's so big it messes up the camera. That's what she said. So, yeah. Okay. So see what happened was it's actually a funny story. Should I keep this up here? I don't know. It's kind of uncomfortable, but we're just gonna keep it in the frame. So see what happened was, it was a day just like any other day. Okay, it wasn't just like any other day. My wife and I, she was really busy. I had just finished up a video, and I was like, hey, you want to come with me to go get something to eat? We hadn't gone grocery shopping or anything like that, and it was a couple days after the New Year, and I asked her, and she's like, she's been really busy. And she's like, what the heck, why not? So she's like, give me 5 minutes, let me finish this. I was like, okay. So she finished up everything. We were going to take the Camaro, but she's like, no, let's take the truck or something. And all this little nuances and all these little things mean something. So stick with me here. So we were like at my Camaro, and then we were like, no, because we were gonna go stop. We need the space. Let's go put it in the back. She's like, oh, I have to get gas too. I was like, okay. So all this time, blah blah blah, goes by. We hop up into the truck, and we head on out. On the way out of our development, we live in this gated community. We see a gentleman walking out the gate holding this. And my wife is like, and I'm like, is he holding a PS5? She's like, someone should tell him that's not safe. And he was no little guy. So it's not like it was, I don't think he was in any immediate danger. Plus, it's not like we live in a bad neighborhood or anything. So we live in a pretty nice neighborhood, and if I do say so myself, but we're gonna move to a better one. But so I'm like driving really slow, just watching him doing a creeper thing, and she's like, just ask him. I was like, should I ask him? I was like, yeah, ask him. What's he doing with it? And I was like, all right. It's kind of weird, but rolls down the window, throws on her mask, and goes, excuse me, is that for sale? And he's like, yeah, I actually just sold to someone online. They said they would be here, but they haven't shown up. I'm like, and then I was like, so could we buy it from you? And the guy was like, yeah, I sold to him for a certain price. And it was just a little bit over, I guess you could say MSRP with tax. And I was like, oof. And the guy's like, oh, I just got a message saying he's on his way from the airport. We're like, what? He'll be here in 5 minutes. No way in hell is he going to be. There's no airport within 5 minutes of where I live. Impossible. So, unless he was literally right down the street, which he wasn't. So my wife's like, let's go to the bank. All right, so we go to the bank. I'm driving my truck like it's a Camaro, and a little faster than I should have. I'll admit that. Get to the bank. She pulls out cash, and we get back there, and the guy's still there. The guy was still there, and I was like, it was actually about 10 minutes by the time we got back. From the time we went to the bank, came back, it's right down the street from us. So we go to tell him. I was like, hey, the guy doesn't show up. It's been more than 5 minutes. Can we buy it from you? He's like, I was like, I'll pay a bit more. And he goes, all right, I'll just tell him it's sold. So he gives me a little price, just a little over, and I was like, yeah, that's no problem. I mean, I don't want to put the price out there just because, it wasn't a scalper. He was making, I guess, a little bit of money off of it, but not much. I mean, let's put it this way: what he made could buy him maybe another game or two, depending on what game he was buying. So, the story was, he even gave us the whole backstory and everything. He lives in our development, and he's like, he got one. He was able to get a hold of one for his kid, and then his brother got one for his kid too, because I guess they didn't know who was going to get it. So he gave it to his kid, and he's like, all right, I'm just going to sell it. And he did it through like the Facebook or something, but he didn't mark it up like at all. So just a little bit. And I guess he did it to break even or to compensate for his time or whatever, but I mean, I was beyond lucky. And then just more things just started falling into place that day. It was fantastic. And so as soon as we got it, I opened it up to make sure it wasn't a box of rocks. And it wasn't. Everything was fine. It was sealed, and we lived in the same development. And the guy was like, sure, no problem. He's like, yeah, if anything, let me know. And I was like, okay, cool. And took it up to the house before we were like, crap, I don't have any games. So brought it up to the house, plugged it all in and everything, make sure everything works. And then we decided to go out and get some games. So, first game I got was, we went to, sorry, let's get back in here. We went to my local GameStop. I only got a couple of games just because there's really not that much out. It's not like with the Xbox where you get the Series X one game, so they were able to slap that across a lot more games. So you technically have a few more games, but you can still play your PS4 games on it and whatnot. So, my local GameStop had like no games. They said something about switching shipping companies and all this other nonsense. So the only thing I was able to get, personally, I got Godfall. Godfall's actually not that bad of a game. I've been playing it. I'm not going to make a definitive review yet just because I've only about maybe hour and a half, 2 hours into it at most. Maybe I think in about an hour. Hour and a half. But it's very interesting. And there was something on it that said, like, okay, ascend solo or in co-op in Godfall, the first next-gen looter slasher action RPG. No, it wasn't here. I can't remember where I read it, but it was like it's first of its kind. No, it feels a lot like Too Human. Just instead of the sticks, it's shoulder buttons to attack. It feels, if you guys ever played Too Human, it reminds me a lot of Too Human. So, it's actually pretty interesting game. I'm enjoying it. Now, my wife wanted that. I did not want this game, whatever. I'm a Spider-Man fan, but this isn't Spider-Man. This is Miles Morales. I have no interest in Miles Morales. He just, the character doesn't resonate with me. It's like me buying a game that stars Miss Marvel, or I can't remember her name. Who they told us, we would get to play as in the Avengers, but not for the whole game. Kamala Khan, there you go. It didn't do anything for me. This game doesn't do anything for me, but I got it because it has the original Spider-Man remake in it. And that's what's important to me because it's Peter Parker. I've always resonated with Peter Parker growing up. And but I can see why people would like Miles Morales. Those who can, I guess, relate to him. Does nothing for me. So I didn't really care too much for this game. I wanted the regular Spider-Man. So at least I got that. Now I was able to get Bug Snacks because it was free on PlayStation Plus, and I downloaded it before I got the PlayStation because I saw it on, I think it was Rob Wolfden, and he mentioned it, and I just went to the website and did it there. That's an odd game. It's very odd. Astro's Playroom, whatever it was. Fantastic game. One of the best on the PlayStation 5. That I've actually been playing the most. I tried out a couple of other games like Monster Hunter World and Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, just to see what the different types of games and how they look and feel. I don't see much of a difference in Monster Hunter. A bit more stable frame rate, but the loading doesn't feel any different, maybe a little faster. The UI is not as fast as I was hoping for. After playing the Xbox Series X as long as I have since day one, it's a much faster, much snappier console. But I know I'm going to get hate for saying, I think the Xbox is a little better. But oh well, it's in my opinion, it's true. It's true to me because from my experience, it's been a better experience. But that controller though, that DualSense is mind-blowing. I just wish games actually used it besides Astro. Next game I got was, my wife chose this one. We do have this on Switch or PS4. She already has it. I think we have part 1 on Switch and part 2 on PS4, but because it's a PS5, and we got this game and the next one at Walmart because all their games are like $5 to $10 cheaper than MSRP. So this I haven't played yet, but we got that. And then this one I'm looking forward to, the Pathless. I remember watching the videos and stuff. It looked pretty nifty. I just saw one video. I did not know what system it was coming on. Now that I see it was on PS5, I was like, all right. I think I got it for $40 at Walmart, $40-$41. So honestly, if you're picking up new games, I hate Walmart with a passion, especially, how I don't like Walmart. I don't like Amazon. I don't like all these big companies that are destroying mom and pop shops, especially mom and pop game shops. They're a heart and soul of the game community, especially retro gaming. So, yeah, but that's neither here nor there. But if you want to get it cheap, there you go. Otherwise, you can buy it at, I think, GameStop or Best Buy. They have them too. But check your local game store. See if they have these games before you buy them anywhere else. But yeah, so I got 4 PS5 games right now. 4 PS5 games right now? Yes. And so far the experience has been pretty much on par with what I expected. I do like it's like the PS4 I guess UI version 2.0. They took what was right and made it better. The only thing I don't like is the use of the home button, the PlayStation button. You press that, because of how the old system PS4 made you want to press that, or you got used to pressing that, holding it to go back to the home. It's now vice versa, kinda, where you hold it to bring up the. You press it to get that little bar on the bottom, and then you hold it for the screenshots or something, whatever it is. And I'm still getting used to the user interface. It feels very PS4 like, but they fixed what was broken. It's not like they took if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They just went, all right, it's not broken, but let's clean it up a bit more. And I do like the user interface much better on the PS5 than I do on the 4. Overall, I like the PS5 much better than the PS4. I think if the PS4 was a better console, it would have been the PS5. And I know this is a controversial thing to all PlayStation fanboys, but the PS5 was a poorly made console. User interface was choppy and slow, sluggish. It would freeze. It was just a terrible console in terms of the user interface and accessibility. While the PS5 just went, you know what? Throw it all away. Let's took what few things worked, and let's just make it that much better. And the PS5 is hands down a much better console than the PS4. Until you get to aesthetics. That thing is so dang big. It barely fit in my entertainment unit, and I'm like, this is too big. This sucker's going to overheat. And for some reason, in the entertainment unit, it kept losing Wi-Fi connectivity, so I had to take it out. Luckily, I have just enough space around my TV because I have a 60-inch television in a hole that supports up to 65, so I had to scooch it over and stand the PS5 up next to the side. And it looks kind of weird. I hate that things being off-centered, and yeah, so, but that sucker's huge, and the fact that it didn't come with a little screwdriver in order to change the stand, and yeah, but that controller is fantastic. I like the user interface. It's just going to take a little bit to get used to. I just wish that it... Maybe I fell into the hype of the PlayStation 5 in terms of speed, but it ain't that fast. With the user interface. Maybe once I start playing other games. Loading for Godfall was pretty standard, I would say. I wouldn't say slow. I'd say it's pretty standard. I did put it into performance mode and graphics mode. The game in graphics mode just looks terrible. It's really choppy. I want to say it feels like it goes below 30 frames. But once you put it in performance, I don't see the graphics getting worse, but I do see it. I guess the textures are just a little lower. I'm going to do a video of each of the games in my opinion, so that's why you're not going to see stuff right now, just because I haven't dived into enough of the games long enough to really give a solid opinion. The thing that I can give a opinion on, because I have spent a lot of time in it, is the Astros Playroom. But that is a fantastic game, very enjoyable. I like it the most out of everything. And Bug Snacks that's the other one. It's a very weird game, very odd game. I'll play it a little more. I think I played that for about an hour, but yeah, the game I play the most is Astro, and I think I'm about 3-4 hours into that. I'm enjoying the crap out of it, and yeah, so that's the story of how I got my PS5 and a little bit of my first impression of it. It's only been a few days. I think I got it about 3-4 days ago. I think I got it, what was it, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day? New Year's Eve. I got it New Year's Eve. So that's why it was funny. It was the last day of the year, and just everything was falling into place for us. And yeah, it was great. And so I'm enjoying the system so far. I will say, if I step back, I know this video is running a little long, but if I have to compare and say which console I like better, as of right now, the Xbox Series X is a much better console. Speeds, game loading, quick resume. It's just, there's a lot more to play, and I feel like it's I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go with it. There's no place like home. I'm so used to the Xbox user interface. I like how it's cleaned up and, more streamlined. But there's just a lot more to play, especially with Game Pass. I do like on PS5 that they give you, if you're a PlayStation Plus member, those games. Too bad I own most of them, and then some of the other ones I just have no interest in playing. But the same thing with Game Pass. There's a lot of games on there that I just don't have interest in. But overall, it's been enjoyable. It's technically only been a few days that I've had it, so I'm not really going to give it a grade or, bash it or praise it any more or any less. I'm enjoying it, and I like the fact that I got it. I'm lucky, and I'm definitely blessed right now to have both consoles and to be able to play them and enjoy them. But there you go, guys. If you're still hanging in with me, I appreciate it so much. Hit that subscribe button. There you go, right there. See it says subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button. Like this video, share this video. It really helped. Again, subscribe. Did I forget to mention subscribe? Because that helps us a lot right now. And like it and pass it around. Yes, thank you so much. Head on over to redbandanagaming.com. Again, like I said in the 2021 channel update video, we're doing a lot. We got a lot of stuff coming. Head on over to our socials, follow us over there. And head on over to our Teespring, link in the description. Get you some shirts, some phone cases, some hoodies, all that other good stuff. Thank you guys so much. We can't do any of this without you. Like we always say, be legendary. Thanks again.